What does it mean to be truly invincible in the face of life's challenges? This, my friends, is where the concept of Stoicism enters. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy, serves as a compass guiding us through the tumultuous seas of life. It teaches us to be resilient, to maintain a steady heart in the face of adversity, and to keep our heads held high regardless of the circumstances. Let's delve into the wisdom of ancient Stoic philosophers to discover how we can become undefeated in any life path. Imagine being on a ship in a stormy sea. How would a Stoic philosopher respond to this situation? Let's delve into the life of Zeno of Citium, the man who laid the foundation for Stoicism. Zeno was once a wealthy merchant, traversing the vast seas, trading precious purple dye. During one of his voyages, a violent storm led to a shipwreck, and Zeno lost everything. But rather than succumbing to despair, Zeno chose to view this calamity as an opportunity. Stranded in Athens, he stumbled upon a bookstore. There, he was drawn to the teachings of Socrates, as detailed in Xenophon's Memorabilia. This accidental discovery ignited a spark in Zeno, leading him to the world of philosophy. Zeno's life took an unexpected turn, but he didn't resist it. Instead, he embraced it, and this very acceptance led him to establish one of the most influential schools of philosophy, Stoicism. His response to the shipwreck was an embodiment of Stoic thought, turning adversity into a chance to learn and grow. And this, my friends, is the essence of Stoicism. It's not about eliminating emotions or being indifferent to what happens around us. It's about understanding that we cannot control everything that happens to us, but we can control how we respond to it. It's about seeing the opportunity in obstacles, about turning what seems like misfortune into an advantage. Zeno's shipwreck wasn't just a physical journey, it was a philosophical one. It transformed him from a wealthy merchant to a seeker of wisdom. It's a testament to the Stoic belief that it's not events themselves that disturb us, but our interpretation of them. Zeno's response to his shipwreck is a lesson for all of us. It teaches us that we can choose to view setbacks not as hindrances, but as opportunities to learn, to grow, and to redefine our path. In the face of adversity, Zeno found opportunity, a true reflection of Stoic thought. What if the biggest obstacle in your life is your perception of it? It's a question that begs introspection, doesn't it? Now, let's delve into the wisdom of a notable Stoic philosopher, Marcus Aurelius, who was not only a philosopher, but also a Roman emperor. Aurelius was a firm believer in the power of the mind. He held the conviction that our perception of an event often causes more harm than the event itself. It's a simple concept, yet it's one that continues to elude many of us. How often do we find ourselves trapped in a cycle of negative thoughts, letting our minds amplify the magnitude of our problems? Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." These words, written centuries ago, still resonate today. They remind us that we don't need to be victims of our circumstances. Instead, we can choose to perceive events in a way that empowers us rather than diminishes us. Let's consider a common example. You're stuck in a traffic jam. You could perceive this as a frustrating waste of time, allowing anger and stress to build up. Or you could view it as an opportunity to listen to an enlightening podcast or simply enjoy a moment of solitude. The traffic jam remains the same. What changes is your perception of it. The wisdom of Marcus Aurelius encourages us to shift our perspective. It nudges us to look beyond the surface, to seek the potential for growth in every challenge. It prompts us to question how we perceive our obstacles. Are we allowing them to hinder our progress, or are we using them as stepping stones towards personal growth? Remember, it's not the obstacle that defines us, but how we respond to it. Our perceptions have the power to shape our experiences, to transform challenges into opportunities, and to turn setbacks into comebacks. So consider this. The obstacle isn't the problem. The problem is your attitude about the obstacle. It's a powerful thought, isn't it? A shift in perception, a change in attitude, can indeed make us undefeated in any life path. What could be more powerful than accepting things as they are? This profound question takes us back to the teachings of Epictetus, an ancient Stoic philosopher. Epictetus believed in the power of acceptance, a concept which might initially seem counterintuitive or even defeatist. But let's delve deeper. Epictetus was born into slavery, experiencing firsthand the harsh realities of life. Yet he rose above these circumstances to become one of the most influential thinkers of his time. The key to his resilience? Acceptance. Not a passive resignation, but a conscious recognition of what he could and could not control. If we examine Epictetus's teachings, we find a quote that resonates deeply with our topic today. There is only one way to happiness, and that is to cease worrying about things which are beyond the power of our will. This statement is not an invitation to surrender, but a call to focus our energies where they matter most. Imagine you're a sailor navigating the vast ocean. You can't control the wind, the waves, or the weather, but you can control how you steer your ship, how you adjust your sails, how you navigate the storm. This is the essence of Epictetus's philosophy. The power of acceptance lies in discerning between the uncontrollable and the controllable, and focusing your efforts on the latter. So, how does this translate to our modern lives? Consider the things that cause us stress, anxiety, or frustration. More often than not, they're things outside our control. Traffic jams, the behavior of others, the passing of time. Epictetus would advise us to let go of these worries, not because they're unimportant, but because worrying about them serves no purpose. It's like trying to stop the wind with your bare hands. On the other hand, our actions, our responses, our attitudes, these are within our control. These are the sails we can adjust, the rudder we can steer. And by doing so, we can navigate through any storm that life throws our way. Acceptance, then, is not defeat, but the first step towards conquering any challenge. Embrace the wisdom of Epictetus, harness the power of acceptance, and become the master of your own ship. So how can you apply Stoic wisdom in your everyday life? Stoicism isn't a dusty old philosophy that's kept in the confines of academia. It's a living, breathing set of principles that can be woven into the fabric of your daily life. It's about finding tranquility, resilience, and wisdom amidst the chaos of our modern world. Let's start with the first practical tip, focusing on what you can control. The Stoics believed that we should invest our energy only in those things within our control, like our thoughts, actions, and responses. The rest? Well, they're just not worth fretting over. In the grand scheme of things, worrying about the weather, the traffic, or the opinions of others is a futile exercise. It's like trying to catch the wind in a net. Instead, let's focus on cultivating a calm mind and a resilient spirit. That's where our true power lies. Next, we have the Stoic practice of reframing obstacles as opportunities. Remember, the Stoics saw adversity not as a hindrance, but as a chance for growth. So when life throws you a curveball, instead of lamenting your misfortune, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I grow stronger? In the words of the great Stoic philosopher Seneca, difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body. Lastly, let's talk about acceptance, another cornerstone of Stoic philosophy. Acceptance doesn't mean resignation or apathy. It's about acknowledging the reality of a situation and then deciding how best to respond. It's about accepting that life is full of ups and downs and finding serenity in that chaos. It's about understanding that while we can't always control what happens to us, we can control how we respond. And that's the beauty of Stoicism. It's not just a philosophy, it's a way of life. It's a practical toolkit that helps us navigate the challenges of everyday life with grace and resilience. It's about finding calm in the storm, strength in adversity, and wisdom in the everyday. Stoic wisdom isn't just ancient philosophy, it's a practical toolkit for navigating the challenges of modern life. In the end, what does it mean to be undefeated in life's path? It means embodying the principles of Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that guides us towards a life of tranquility and virtue. It's about understanding that the only thing you truly have control over is your mind, your thoughts, and your reactions. We've journeyed together through the Stoic response to adversity, the power of acceptance, and the practicality of Stoicism in everyday life. We've discovered that obstacles are not stumbling blocks, but stepping stones towards growth and wisdom. And we've learned that acceptance isn't about surrender, but rather about acknowledging the reality of our situation in order to take decisive action. These tenets of Stoic wisdom are not just theoretical ideas confined to the realm of philosophy. They are practical tools that we can use every day to become undefeated in our life path. They teach us to remain composed in the face of adversity, to stay grounded in the present moment, and to always strive for virtue and wisdom above all else. In the end, being undefeated in life's path isn't about never facing challenges or never experiencing pain. It's about cultivating a resilient mind that rises above the storms of life, that finds peace amidst chaos, and that remains steadfast in the pursuit of virtue. Remember, in the grand scheme of things, you are the master of your own mind, and that's the only thing that truly matters. Until next time, stay stoic.